Hi, welcome to Pink Board. Today we are going to see the summary of Deep Water, which is written by William Douglas. So here we are going to see about William Douglas and his fear. So what he did against his fear, what he had as a fear, and that's what we are going to see in this lesson. So before we go to the lesson, let me request you something, that is, if you haven't subscribed my channel, please go for subscribing. Okay, thank you. Yes, now let's go and see what is given here in this lesson. First, what we have to know is about the Yakima river. So here the narrator lives in Yakima, and there is a river which is considered to be treacherous. The meaning of treacherous is dangerous. So here many people who used to go there to swim or to bath used to get drowned because it seems to be bit depth enough. So here the mother used to warn the narrator about the death accidents which happens in the river. So what she expects is, she doesn't want her son to go to Yakima river for swimming or for bathing, and that's why she used to keep the things fresh in the narrator's mind, in a way like developing fear. And before the mother instructs all these, when the narrator was in the age of 3 or 4, when he was taken by his father to California beach, what happened is, when they were standing there on the bay, one of the wave knocked him down. So, and he has fallen down and the water swept over him, and because of that he started to have fear for water. What is the reason is, he considered that the waves are more powerful than him. Okay, as he had this incident when he was in 3 or 4 year, and moreover when the mother warned about all these incidents which happens in the Yakima river, obviously it left the narrator with such a fear. And here he want to learn it, or he want to get away from the fear. So he decided to go to the swimming pool which is there in Y.M.C.A. Here the narrator thought that compared to Yakima river, this Y.M.C.A. pool is bit safe. And when you take about this Y.M.C.A. pool regarding the depthness, on one end it is considered to be shallow, on the other end it seems to be very deep. So what is shallow is, you can walk over there in the water and you will feel safe, but when you take the deep end, obviously we have to swim over there. And when the narrator get inside the swimming pool, he always prefer to have water wings. So what you could able to see in the picture on the right is the water wings. So here the narrator used to have the water wings along with him whenever he steps inside the swimming pool in Y.M.C.A. And as we have discussed about the depthness of the pool, so here it is given as that it is gradual in the sense, the depthness or the bottom of the pool seems to be somewhat slanting enough. So you can imagine that it is given that at one side it is shallow, on the other side it is deep. So slowly the depthness is increased. So in the bottom it will be like a slanting image. So here you could be able to find in the picture which is there on the left, that how on one side the bottom of the pool is close to the water level, and on the other side which seems to be deep. Okay, this is how the Y.M.C.A. pool is. And here in the lesson it is given that as if a misadventure happened. So what is that misadventure is, one day as our narrator is having fear to step inside the water, he went to the swimming pool bit early that morning. So no one seems to be there, so he decided to wait for people to enter, because as he is having fear, he thought that it is not comparatively safe to get inside the swimming pool when he is alone. So he decided to sit over there till somebody comes. And when you take the swimming pool, it seems to be so white and clean because the water is not disturbed by anyone, it is just filled in with water. So when you take the bottom of the pool, it seems to be like white as the bathtub, so it seems to be very clean. And by the time a boy came, he seems to be a big bruiser. Bruiser in the sense one who is having a good physical specimen. So such a person came over there, and he seems to be in the at the age of 18 years. What this big bruiser did is he tossed the narrator to the deep end. So here our narrator don't know to swim. Okay, he was tossed by the bruiser to the deep end. And here, as we know that the deep end seems to be 9 feet, but for the narrator it seems to be like 90 feet because it is going on and on in the bottom. So here he thought that it is going to be bit easy, he is going to reach the bottom as early as possible, but it doesn't seems to be like that. It was taking much time for him to reach or to go towards the bottom. So when he is going down, he was planning what he has to do when he gets inside. So and here, as our narrator don't know how to breathe being inside the water, he felt like his lungs are getting bursted. So here, what is the strategy which the narrator planned is, as soon as we go down, we have to jump by touching the bottom tile of the swimming pool, and that's how, because of our jump, we will come to the surface, and there we will be floating, and after coming to the surface and floating over there like a cork, we have to paddle in the sense moving the hands and the legs in a proper movement, so that we can reach the edge of the swimming pool, and by that we can come out. So this is what the strategy is, this is what the plan the narrator had. So he is looking for the time to reach the bottom. So if he goes to the bottom, he will be jumping up and he will reaches the surface, and there he will float like a cork, and then he reaches the edge of the swimming pool. But it doesn't happen. He went inside and he came up, but things doesn't happen however he expected. As he was holding his breath for a long time, his lungs ached like anything, and when he came to the surface, his eyes and nose alone came out of the water, but not his mouth. So because of that, his scream, his cry, his help, calling for help is not heard to anyone, only water heard about this. And now after reaching to that surface, he is going to take the second journey, which is given as a long journey towards the bottom of the swimming pool for the second time. So how it is given here as, it is given as one of the nightmare fight in the sense, so we will have some bad dreams when we sleep, so we will fight against that bad dreams, and we will try to find help from the person who is sleeping next to us, but we will take some effort, but that will not reach the person. So that is what is a nightmare. So like fighting with a nightmare, this narrator is fighting with the water, and it seems to be like his lungs are aching and his head is throbbing. Throbbing is nothing but a severe headache. And here as our narrator don't know how to breathe, okay, his lungs seems to be having some pain, and he is having so much of tension how to come out of the water, that made him to have a severe headache, and only these two indications told him that he is still alive, and because of his excessive effort he seems to be dizzy. Okay, and then he is trying to call for help, he is trying to cry out, but only water heard it, and he was trying to search for a rope, a ladder, and then water wings, so that if he could able to touch any of those, he can have a good grip over there, and he could try to come out of the swimming pool. He was trying to clutch, but what came in his hands is only water. Then he would like to call for help, he want to cry out, but only water heard. And now as a small child, he is trying to call his mother. And now the second time when he came up, that his strategies doesn't work out, and then again he went inside the water for the third time, and now comparatively the effort what he took on the first time and the second time decreased a lot. Okay, he couldn't able to do anything. So that's why here it has been said that effort ceased in the sense stopped completely. He couldn't able to do anything, and it seems to be like he has wiped out the fear, because he seems to be slowly going to the unconscious state, and here he floated in the surface. Okay, and it seems to be like he is floating without having anything in his mind. So when we float in the space, in the sky, how we will feel that we are so light, and that's how it happened. And then when he was floating like that, he felt that it seems to be that he is in the arms, and that too here it has been given as a tender arms, arms which are so soft like that of his mother's. And it is given that the curtain of life fell. So the curtain of life fell in the sense, when we go for theater and all, when the show ends, okay, they will be dropping the curtain. So like that his eyelids has dropped, and eyelids have dropped, and now it is given that as if he reached his end. And what is the result of such misadventure is he had a fear, and that fear is given here as a haunting fear. Haunting fear is nothing but how we have fear for a ghost or a devil. That's how it seems to be. And he is having wobbly in knees and sick in stomach. Wobbly in knees and sick in stomach in the sense that is he feels like he is not feeling comfortable, and whenever the thought comes for him to go to waters, okay, he will feel like his leg are shaking, and then he feels like he couldn't able to have some proper digestion like. And here it is given that the handicapped stayed with him. Handicapped is nothing but the inability, that is the fear what he had for water. And when his family members and his friends were going to paddle, were going for fishing, and when they go to waterfalls, okay, he couldn't able to join and enjoy with them because of the fear what he had. So at last he decided to overcome this. So he decided to learn it in the month of October. So he was given with a different training. We could able to say that the 3 exercise is given to the narrator. The first exercise is what you could able to see in the picture, which is there on the left. That is a rope is tied to the waist of the narrator. One end is there, and the other end is held by the person, that is the trainer. So the trainer will decide where the narrator has to paddle, whether it is over the surface or going little bit inside the water. So he was given with training on 5 days in a week and 1 hour a day. And here slowly the trainer decided to lose the grip, and that's how slowly he started to get inside the water. So the next exercise what is given is breathing exercise. That is when he is over the surface of water, he is supposed to breathe in, and when he gets inside the water, he is supposed to breathe out. So this exercise is asked to be done 100 of times, because this has to be done unconsciously by the person who is undergoing training, because he cannot think and do. So he was asked to practice it as much as he can. So the third exercise what he had is giving training to his legs, because when he was there in the water, his legs seems to be paralyzed in the sense which is not helping him to move. So he couldn't able to command his legs, and the leg seems to be paralyzed, and that's why leg exercise is given. He was asked to just push and pull, that is wave his legs inside the water, and by holding the edge of the swimming pool, he was doing it to have some control over the legs. So these are the 3 exercises which are given by the trainer to our narrator. At last the trainer finished everything, but the narrator says that the instructor has finished his lessons, but I haven't. Though it means that he haven't undergone sufficient training, okay, with satisfaction. And when he tried to practice this being inside the water, tiny vestiges used to return. This tiny vestiges is nothing but a small piece or a bit of fear used to come inside him, and he wanted to go like Doclus Corpron. So in this picture you could able to find the person on the right is Doclus Corpron. He is the one who is famous for swimming across the lake, or that is from one shore to the other shore and also the way back. So he want to do like him to make sure that whether he has learnt enough. And at last he goes by the word of President Roosevelt that all we have to fear is fear itself. There is nothing to be scared in this world. And at last, when he could able to do whatever he want in the water, whenever he could able to swim across a pool or a lake or wherever he is going for fishing and all those, he felt satisfied, he felt relieved. So he could able to do all sort of strokes, that is front stroke, back stroke, breaststroke, side stroke. He was greatly relieved. So now what he thought is, I can do anything in this world. So I am free to walk the trails. Walk the trails is nothing but the sea route. So I am ready to take any route in water. And not only that, that is not only swimming, he is also ready to climb the peaks. So I am ready to do anything, whatever it can be. It can be swimming across the shore or climbing over the peaks, whatever it might be. So I am ready to do that. So brushing aside fear, without having fear, I can do that in my life. So that's how the narrator thought. It's because of the training and the effort what is taken by the narrator in a way to chase away the fear what he had. So in our life also, children, we have fear for certain things. So if we take even this English language, we find difficulty to talk, and we might think that whether my words may not be right or I am not pronouncing it in a right way, though that's why we try to avoid talking in English. And when we were given with a chance to talk in front of someone, or a speech competition or an elocution competition, obviously we hesitate to do that in this language especially. The reason is we are not having sufficient practice over that. Though we know the words what we have to use, still we fail to do that because of the fear what we have. So whatever the fear you have in your life, you need to have the determination to fight against that. Once you have the determination to do that, obviously things will be right on your way and track. Yes, I hope this is helpful for you, and I think you have learned the lesson better. Thank you.